Hey, Brew and Feed here. I am here at Riddell's Sausage Shop in Cleveland. Easy for me to say. They're on the corner of Waterloo and 152nd Street, and I'm here to pick up some bologna because I'm on a quest to make a bougie bologna sandwich. Something with the old school classic bologna, but a little bit more upscale for all you bougie folks out there. So brew strong and feed well. All right, I got the bologna from Riddell's. They also had smoked Gouda too, so I had them slice up some of that. So I got the Gouda and the bologna, and I also got some jalotus. Jalotus is a lunch meat that they make from scratch there. So I'm gonna fry some of that up to see what it tastes like versus the bologna, and I may use that for the sandwich. So let's go check it out and see what they're working with. Brew strong and feed well. All right, everything's prepped and ready to make our bougie bologna sandwich. It's gonna be made with bologna I brought from a local butcher shop. I got some smoked Gouda cheese. So this is getting bougie right away. I got some caramelized onions to up the bougie level. I got a slice of tomato. I got lettuce. That's not really up in the bougie quotient, and then I made a mix of mayonnaise and spiced mustard. This is a Cleveland mustard brand. Basically the Cleveland brown spiced mustard. It's delicious. So I just made a mix of that, half and half. I think I did 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of mustard, and that's gonna be our sandwich. But what's really gonna take the bougie level up a notch over the top is I'm gonna make, the bread is gonna be basically French toast. Kind of a Monte Cristo style sandwich. And I'm using brioche bread. So this has got bougie written all over it, and that was the goal for this bologna sandwich. One tip for this French toast is to let it sit out for a while. I just basically let it sit out the whole time I was prepping everything. And it's not stale and crunchy, but it's hardened up a little bit because you're going to be soaking it in an egg wash and that'll help it not get too soggy. So that's a tip from when you're making French toast in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip these in the egg wash, and then I'm gonna get my my griddle ready. I'm actually gonna slide this over and use the whole griddle, the top and the bottom. But for the sandwiches, I'm gonna go ahead and let me get a little bit of butter before I do that. Probably need a little bit of butter because that's gonna help it brown up a little bit. When I'm making stuff like pancakes and French toast, I usually put the butter on there just enough to basically so it doesn't stick to the pan. I don't want that butter, and I wipe it off a little bit. So I leave like a thin layer of butter on the skillet, so that way we don't end up with a burnt piece of bread or pancake. So we're gonna soak our French toast in the egg wash, and then we're gonna let that drain off a little bit, and then we're gonna cook our French toast. Once I get rid of this egg wash, I'm gonna pull that thing over so I can do the rest of this. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna make our bologna on this side. So cooking bologna is not that difficult. You just fry it. Just throw it on the pan and fry it. You could wipe it down with a little olive oil, but you don't need that. It's got enough juices in it so it doesn't stick. What's gonna happen with the bacon is it's gonna bubble up a little bit in the middle. And when it does that, I'm going to cut some slices in it so that it cooks evenly. You'll see. See how the bologna is bubbling up in the middle? It's not going to cook evenly when you do that. So what you do is you cut a couple of slits in there to stop it from doing that. I usually do about 2 or 3 slits, and that will stop it from bubbling up and keep it flat. So that's why if you're looking on the internet, you see people making bologna, that's the reason why it has slits in it. Now I'm explaining this because you would think a lot of people would know how to cook bologna the proper way, but when I posted I was making this sandwich, a lot of folks said they never ate bologna. I think it's, in some cases, it's actually looked down upon to eat bologna, like it's some kind of peasant food or something, but it's, bologna when it's cooked right, it has an amazing Maillard reaction that gives it this caramely sweet texture to it, a little crunchy around the edges. It's very good. I'm not saying it's something that should be in your daily diet because obviously, you know, eating that much of something like this is that salty and fatty is not good for you, but as a treat, this bologna is amazing. So we're gonna let that cook. Everything, once this bologna starts to cook and it's pretty much done, I'm gonna put the cheese on there, let it melt on there, and then we're gonna assemble our sandwich. Oh yeah, you can see that Maillard, is it Maillard or Maillard? Maillard reaction happening with the bologna. You see it's turning brown. That's those proteins cooking and caramelizing into sugars, which is what you want to see when you're cooking anything like this, or bacon, or ribs, or anything like that. Our bread is pretty much done. I like to cook it till I don't want to burn it, but I want it to be nice and solid. I don't want it to be all soggy. So let that finish cooking up. I'll throw this cheese on here now. I'm gonna assemble the sandwich now, the Bougie bologna sandwich. I'm gonna put the mustard mayonnaise mix, I'm gonna spread it thin on both sides so that way every bite gets a little bit of it. I like to do things subtly. I like to have a little bit of taste of everything. I don't like it when one thing overpowers all of the other flavors. Whether I'm making a recipe or if I'm brewing a beer, I like to do subtle things. I know there's a lot of things that people buy that are kind of more popular, that are kind of over the top, but I just like to do things subtly. So for this, I'm gonna put a thin layer of mustard and mayonnaise mix on both sides. I'm going to layer my bologna and cheese. I'm going to do, let's do some onions. No, let's do the onion. Let's do the tomato next because I don't want that to go sliding off. So we'll do this. We'll do the onions. I should probably use a fork for that, huh? We'll do the onions. Nice thin layer that gives us the flavor of the onion, but not overpower the rest of the sandwich. Oh, those caramelized onions smell so good. And we'll top it with some lettuce. Forgot what that is. And now we got our Bougie bologna sandwich. All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take some nice pictures of this first, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do a taste test because everything we cook in our videos gets eaten. We don't waste anything. We're not spritzing it down or putting makeup on it. Whatever you see in our pictures and in our videos is stuff that I'm actually gonna eat. So I'll be right back. All right, our sandwich is done. I got it on the chopping block. I am going to cut it diagonally and tell you what I think. I probably should have put a couple more slices of bologna on here, and maybe next time I'll do 4 slices or get it cut a little bit thicker. So we'll see how much we get from the bologna. Let's see. All right, so we got tomato. Let me just recap what we got in here. So we have a bologna, smoked Gouda cheese, slice of tomato, caramelized onion, lettuce, and brioche bread made like French toast. Essentially, that's the sandwich. So let's give it a try. Oh, it's amazing. Sandwiches like this are layered with flavor. When you bite them and you start to chew them, you get obviously that French toast, sweet brioche flavor. You get the mustard, which is kind of a contrast to that. And then you got your sweet onions, your caramelized bologna, and then that smoked cheese comes through really nice. So there you have it. Let me put this down before it falls apart. A Bougie bologna sandwich. You could simplify this, but the goal of this video was to create something that was a little more upscale because bologna is a very underrated sandwich meat, especially when you cook it and you give it that Maillard reaction and caramelize it. It's very good. I'm probably gonna make this sandwich with a little bit more bologna next time or use a little bit thicker cut. But that's it. Perfect sandwich. I'm gonna go finish this off, and I hope you all get a chance to try it. And that's it. Signing out. Brew strong and feed well.